Hi guys and welcome back. Now in this lesson we're going to discuss mass assignment, which we briefly discussed a few lessons ago. Mass assignment involves initializing a Ruby variable using a hash of values. We've seen this in action and I still have it open here. On line 14, the instance variable @user. This is not the final implementation. Initializing the entire params hash is extremely dangerous. It passes to user.new all data submitted by a user. Imagine that the user model included an admin attribute. The way to get this attribute to true is to pass the value admin equals 1 as part of params user. By passing in the entire params hash to user.new, we would allow a user of the site to gain admin access by including admin equals 1 in the web request. So as you can see, for a malicious user or an attacker, it would be very easy to gain access if we had it to an admin section of our website. From Rails version 4, the preferred technique to solve this problem is to use strong parameters in the controller layer. Strong parameters allow us to specify which parameters are required and which are permitted. Passing in a raw params hash, as we just discussed, will cause an error to be raised. This means that Rails applications are now immune to mass assignment vulnerabilities by default. In our application, we want to require the params hash to have a user attribute or a :user attribute. We want to permit the name, email, password and password confirmation attributes and nothing else. We can achieve this with the following code. Let's jump into our user's controller, which I have here. And now at the second last end on my screen on line 20, hit enter a couple of times, and what we want to say is the keyword private, enter, then def, so we're creating a new method here, user underscore params, hit enter. What are we going to say? Well, we're going to say params dot require. Now, so what is it going to require? Well, user dot permit, so for a user, permit the following attributes: name, perfect, email, great, password, and password confirmation. No, password underscore confirmation. There we go. And let's just close that out. Oh, now let's just close that out. There we go. Perfect. And save that. This code returns a version of the params hash with only the permitted attributes. So if I jump into my browser, here we are here, and I still have the error page open from the last lesson. And these are this is the parameters section here. These are the attributes. So as we were just saying, at the moment, you could pass in any value into these attributes, which would allow a malicious user access to certain areas of our site that we did not want them to access. Now we're locking this down. And we're accepting only these parameters. To facilitate the use of these parameters, it's conventional to introduce an auxiliary method called user underscore params and use it in the place of params user, which we have up here at line 14. The method user underscore params will only be used internally by the user controller and so does not need to be exposed to the external users via the web. We've made it private by using the Ruby keyword private. And what I'm also going to do before we close out is add in an extra line or an extra layer of indentation. There we go. Perfect. So the extra indentation allows us to emphasize which methods are defined after private. In the next lesson, we'll add error messaging on invalid submissions and actually create a new user. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you there.